Hello everyone! Welcome back to another Backlog series. I got lucky for this one because coincidentally I saw Half-Life's release date on their store page to realize that they got released on November. So I was like, oh, that's quite nice. That's very timely. So I have an excuse to play them because they have been sitting on my library for like a year now because I got it for free for their anniversary. But a disclaimer, I didn't play Half-Life 2 episode 1 and 2 because I'm running out of time and I don't necessarily enjoy the experience anyway. But honestly, I have mixed feelings about this game, so let's begin. Half-Life 1. Guys, to be honest, I wrote in my note that I hate this game with a passion. Not because it's necessarily a bad game, but like I just don't like it. Like maybe I'm spoiled with today's graphics or storytelling or sound design or mechanics. I do not know. But what I do know is that this game did not age well in my opinion. I think the movement feels like you are walking on ice. There is no precision whatsoever, and you combine that with the platforming plus the pixelated graphic, make it so hard to do platforming in this game. The amount of times I died, and probably the first time where I had to quit the game and take a breather. What pisses me off is that there is absolutely zero directions, like zero quest header or goal list or something to help us keep track. The amount of times I got lost in this game is too much. I had to watch the playthrough countless times just to progress. You can call me a Gen Z because this game is older than me or spoiled or whatever, but please give us something. There are numerous times where I'm like, I didn't know I could interact with that button. Like, hello, you guys don't even show the button interaction with the objects that you can interact with. And I'm like alone for 90% of the time, which does not help because there is no one to remind me of where I should go, what I'm doing. All I meet are security guards or scientists that get killed by the tiniest damage by the monster or soldiers. And there are some moments that you need them to progress. There's actually one moment in the game where I couldn't pass because the scientist just refused to open the door and I had to reload the save.
Access denied.
Or the time that I died in this particular elevator, I don't know why, but of course it works when I was recording. Thanks, Valve, you're covering your own ass. The dialogue scene, if you can even call it that, is too far in between. Also, the scientist said that the cavalry is here, only for me to discover that they are killing everyone on sight, humans and monsters alike. And like the game crashes a lot, like a stupid amount of time. I almost quit playing the game and just move on to Half-Life 2. But of course, again, the time that I recorded where it crashed, it worked. But anyway, the story, I don't know what's going on, man. Like, I only know that you're a scientist named Gordon Freeman, and he's new, and he's just one of the unlucky ones where he had to go through a failed experiment that causes a lot of aliens to pass through, and he's probably the luckiest and unluckiest man alive because he had to go through that, but he's lucky that he can survive that and be touted as a hero. Also, the first person perspective made me nauseous, so I can't play in the long sessions due to the lack of POV slider, but I won't hold that against it. I know it's age. And speaking of age, I respect this game. The gunplay still holds up. Different weapons feel different and the atmosphere really sells because it's surprisingly a scary game. Have you seen and heard the headcrabs? And also, now I know the source of most Counter-Strike and Steam sound effect, where it comes from. That I just remembered that the Counter-Strike is basically a modded version of Half-Life, which explains a lot. So while I don't enjoy it, I can see how it is a precursor to a lot of things that we have now, which I can safely say that I respect, even though I don't enjoy the experience one bit. Yeah, I think the puzzles, how am I supposed to know what I can do and cannot do? I seriously don't get it. Maybe I'm just not used to the graphics, but still. And the ending is like kinda just a letdown, like, oh, you just meet the whatever random guy that is, and I was like, I did not know what I accomplished, whatever. And so I moved on to Half-Life 2 To be honest, Half-Life 2, I enjoyed this experience more than the first. The first thing I noticed immediately is that the graphics still hold up, like the world design and the textures still look good. It's just that the facial texturing and some character animation kind of looks dated, but honestly, for its age, it aged quite well. And I feel like it's such a huge improvement from the first game, like the cutscene. Like, I feel like they're one of the first ones to do in-game, in-engine cutscenes. Like, there are people to interact with. Half-Life 1 feels so lonely, and I feel like the design here is so much tighter because my gamer instincts able to go with the flow of things, and I kinda have some idea where to go, what to do, compared to the first game. And there is sense of humor and emotions in this dialogue where there is none from the previous game. The variety of weapon is excellent, mad respect. The gravity gun, Chef Kiss, very creative and fun. And the gland for the, is it called fire ants? Was also fun because it makes you feel like a badass. And I like how the previous enemy from the previous game, that one of the aliens becomes your ally in this game, because I honestly don't know how it got there, but I had to read the wiki. And suddenly, Gordon Freeman becomes a very famous person. Everybody keeps calling you Mr. Gordon. It's like the type of dialogue that when you expect when Superman or Batman arrives, it's like, oh, Gordon Freeman, I'll be damned. Mr. Freeman, thank God you are here. And like, is everyone else so incompetent, or is his suit carrying Freeman throughout the game? Because like he's a one-man army. I guess that's the whole point and the power fantasy everyone yearns for. And honestly, the soundtrack is just okay. It did not land the emotional impact like it expected to. Although I welcome the change of pace with different vehicles like buggy and the car. It just changed the atmosphere a bit, makes it less bland and flat compared to the first game. While I hate Half-Life 1, for me, Half-Life 2 feels more bearable. And at the end, I just said, hey, it's fine. I'll not continue episode 1 and 2. So, what did I learn from this experience? I feel like my pre expectations going into this game can really change your perceptions, because I think it happened to me because I keep hearing whispers here and there saying how Half-Life is a good game, it is groundbreaking, and I can see how it did back in the day. But all I got was just disappointment because of that high expectation, maybe. So honestly, try it out for yourself and make your own judgment, because everyone is living in their own subjective experience. And I think mood also affects how you play towards the game, because if I'm being perfectly honest, I initially planned to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, but since I saw the store page release date, I was like, you know what? Just give it a try. Save some money, and just I have too much backlog anyway, so I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't mind. But yeah, I think emotions and the mood really affect how I perceive the experience of Half-Life, causing me to say not a lot of great things about this game. But I respect the hell out of these games because it single-handedly was like the origin of many standards in video game nowadays. The physics age well, the small details they put in the game are aged very well, and what makes it so timeless. In conclusion, I say give it a try because you might like it, and it's super cheap on Steam anyway. If you are a fan of FPS and minimal story in your games, well, boy, do I have the game for you. But for someone who wants heavy story, good dialogue, this ain't it. So thank you for watching. I know I'm gonna be graded in the comments, but at least I'm honest about my opinions, and don't get it wrong, I don't hate the game, I respect it, I just don't enjoy it, and I think it's not for me. So thank you for watching, and as for the next video, I do not know yet.